Today I'm going to be answering one of your colored pencil questions and a question about signing your artwork. Hi, I'm Lisa, the artist behind Lachri Fine Art. As I mentioned before, I have a new frequently asked question page over on my website. I'll have a link to that in the video description. I also have a page over there where you can ask questions to be featured in a question and answer video. Today I'm answering two of your questions. The first one comes from Jeff Kennedy, who asks, I just acquired a new Prismacolor pencil set and I got the Mona Lisa paint thinner. I applied all of my color layers down, and when I went to blend them, it sort of stayed on the paper as wet. Is there a certain type of paper I should use for this application? I have a video talking about the supply list that I use here, and I go over the types of paper that I use. For any of the types of paper that I use, the paper, when completely dry, that stain shouldn't be there. The only time that I think this might be a problem is if you're using a paper that has a cheap dye or something that's causing that dye to move or lift up. But when that odorless paint thinner is dry, it won't stain at all because there's no actual oil in it. Now, if you were using baby oil, which I don't recommend, or some of these other oil products to blend your products with, that will keep the paper wet longer and is definitely not what I would consider ideal. But as far as odorless mineral spirits, the Mona Lisa odorless paint thinner, when it's completely dry, there should be no mark unless there was pencil mixed in with it. I do notice that it takes a lot longer for softer paper like Stonehenge to dry than it does the Fabriano Artistico. Even vellum and some of the lighter weight paper that I've used, as long as the paper's not terribly soft, it dries pretty quickly. I would say within 30 seconds. A lot of that's also going to have to do with how much paint thinner is on your brush when you apply it to the paper. The more paint thinner, the longer it's going to take. But I do recommend, for colored pencil in general, I really like the Fabriano Artistico Extra White Hot Press 140-pound watercolor paper that really, I wish it had a shorter name because it takes forever to write out, and Stonehenge in the individual sheets. And I'll have links to both of those below in the video description. My second question comes from Christine, who asks, how do you know where to sign your painting? Do you think about it before you start your painting so you don't spoil it by putting your signature in the wrong place? Or is it about hiding your signature or showing it? This is really up to the artist, but I don't want my signature to take away from the overall piece. So I'm not going to put a signature like along the side of the subject's head if I'm doing a portrait. I will sometimes put my signature up along the waterline when I'm doing above and underwater scenes mixed together. But other than that, I normally sign in one of the bottom corner, the bottom right hand or the bottom left hand, and it's going to depend on the actual piece. Because sometimes, depending on how I've got things positioned, the signature may draw attention to the wrong place if I always put it in the left hand side or always in the right hand side. So I just position it as to where it's going to look best for that painting. I also typically will use colors that I used elsewhere in the painting. I've seen some artists where they'll always sign their name in bright red, even though there's red nowhere else in the painting. I personally don't like that look because I think it pulls attention to the artist's signature too much. But I don't think that you necessarily need to hide it either. That signature is important. You want people to know who painted that piece. You just want to balance it out, but it is definitely completely up to each individual artist. Thanks for watching. If you're new to my channel, I have new video critiques every Tuesday where I'm critiquing your original paintings or drawings, my own speed paintings, drawings, and tutorials every Wednesday, social media tips for artists each Thursday, and artist vlogs every weekend. So if you haven't already, I would love for you to subscribe so you don't miss out on anything. And you can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr, Google+. All of those social media sites are linked below in the video description where you can keep up with news, my newest work, and see real-time clips of whatever it is I'm currently working on. I'll see you guys in a few days.